Did you know David Lee Roth was at EDC?
That's really random.
That's funny. He's everywhere.
It would feel like you were bringing like grandpa.
Yeah, it's what it looked like to me too. Hold on, I gotta go in there and fix my hair real goddamn fucking quick.
Are we live?
Oh, well, I started the camera. Live from Las Vegas, Nevada. From the JediRich.com production studio. It's the JediJoy Show with JediJoy. Okay, we're gonna work on that a little bit. Okay, JediJoy, welcome. Hey
there.
How's it going, guys? Today is this is the second episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got a lot of shit from our first episode. Can you imagine? I know. Okay.
I would have never thought.
Yeah, they view. So she's kind of hiding out in her kitty cat outfit because she feels. Well, how do you feel, JediJoy?
Well, I still think it's funny.
You still think it's funny? You refuse to admit that it's not funny. Okay, so what happened was, see, earlier there was just sitting here talking, and she's saying some shit, blah, blah, blah. And he says something, and he gets up, says, I need to get off the bus. Would you get out of my way? Says, I'll get out of your way. Thank you. Finally, God, you're a mean old lady, he says. He says, I am not.
Oh, God. Oh, she, like, lifted him up and thrust him out. Oh. I would be lying if I said it wasn't funny.
Okay, JediJoy, listen. People have written you, and they've said some awful things to you. We're getting backlashed everywhere. And they want to know if you will admit that that is not funny.
He just looks like a grumpy old man.
I mean, I thought you were a nice person. That's someone's grandpa. There's someone's grandpa there.
He does not look like a very nice man.
JediJoy, how do you respond?
Well, I will say it was a very tragic incident.
JediJoy, a man is dead. A man is dead. A man was talking to a woman. I don't know what they were saying. And then she pushed him off the bus. And he's dead.
Yeah, I know he's very tragic for the family. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yes.
The movie is hilarious. It's a blockbuster.
Okay, JediJoy. Obviously, she's not. She can't see that she can't see what what I see and what everyone else is seeing. That what happened. There is nothing that happened in that video that was funny at all. Okay. She says, God damn. This is why I went to YouTube for this podcast, because I don't know what to do. Because everywhere else she's a lovely person. She's sweet as pie. Anyways, if I seem a little stressed, that's why. Because we're just getting episode 1, we're almost ready to pull the plug because of all. I'm not even sure. We may have violated some of YouTube's policies.
If that's the way the universe wanted him to go out, look at this guy. Doesn't he just look like a grump, though? Look at the way he moves.
Oh, he looks incredibly grumpy.
Oh, my God. Like, you just see the way his face is moving.
Well, I can't get her to not see that it's not funny, you guys. She's still laughing. I mean, if I were to show her the video right now of her watching the video, that would make her laugh. Just her thinking of that man being shoved out of the bus after she told someone to go take a hike. And that woman thought about it.
I know, right?
The pause is what was funny.
That's what it is. That's what I told you today. That's what it is. Like the fact that.
Okay, hold on, JediJoy. Take your mask off. We
tight?
can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you too good. Yeah, take the mask off. Yeah.
I'm about to suffocate under there.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's not too bad if you're sitting still. Or would have exercised under those things. Talk about exercise. Is my hair just like stuck to the ceiling?
If you'd like to take a pause, and I can no, it's actually exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Okay. The reason I realized today, the reason why I found that.
Oh, hi, there she is. Hello, good. Hello.
JediJoy here. The reason why I found that video to be funny was because I don't know what he said, but I'm assuming he may have said something racist. I mean, that's what I kind of feel like, because it was a white man and it was a black woman, and either racist or chauvinistic or something like that. Because what would compel a woman? I get the woman, it must be very erratic and stuff, but still, I mean, to go to that level, like to push a senior citizen off the bus. So what I was thinking was he must have said something really awful. Now, if I'm wrong, well, I'm sorry. If he's like just the nicest guy ever, I'm sorry. But what it appears to be is that they're, yelling at each other, arguing with each other. And then he kind of gets up and he kind of is like this really grumpy, and then literally like 2 seconds later he gets pushed off a bus. So it's one of those things where you know how like, okay, I know this man died and that is very unfortunate, and I'm not trying to not.
Yes, you don't have to explain yourself, JediJoy. Listen,
But,
you don't have to explain
come on.
yourself. What I was trying to explain to people
He's kind of funny.
that, listen, that's a very interesting subject, because what makes one person laugh makes another person angry and irate. And then that person that's angry and irate wants to stop the other person from laughing because they want them to feel the same way that they feel. And we feel, listen, and now that we're in a new Jen here, excuse me. So, yeah, excuse me, I bumped my leg. And I still have my back problem, so I'm having a hard time sitting for a long time, you guys. So if I get cranky, that's why.
But we did get him a new chair. That's really cool from Amazon.
It's true.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I love it.
So we love Amazon. Yeah. And eBay, though. I like eBay, too. I get all my clothes on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm a bargain shopper.
Okay, so today we have a new issue. Okay, so I'm gonna show this video. This man is at a Taco Bell getting his food. They were in a discussion about his religion. Obviously, he must have been trying to convert her at the drive-through.
Oh, he was trying to convert her.
Well, somehow they're on the topic of Muslim, because he says, "I'm trying to explain to you what it is to be Muslim," or maybe not convert her, but maybe convert her thinking is what I'm trying to say. Like she thinks one way, and he's trying to convert her to think a different way. Okay.
I'm wondering how it got brought up in the first place.
We don't know. But this is where we pick up in the video, and so that's where I want to start off right now.
Okay.
All right. Well, my number's in there somewhere. So. And I'd love to talk to you because I want to let you know. My number's in there somewhere. I want to tell you, like, it's not what you think and what you see in the news. Those people, we don't follow those people. Those people are monsters. Those people are disgusting. Those are the people that make the religion look bad. I'm gonna tell you right now, until you call me and change my mind, Muslim motherfuckers can suck my dick. That's how you feel about me, though? My country. How do you feel about that? They killed thousands of my people.
You're a very racist lady.
Well, but does she have a right to feel?
We're not.
She's angry at well, does she have a right to feel angry at a group of people?
Not a group of people, no.
That join it voluntarily. Like, let's say it wasn't the Muslim party. Let's say she's talking about the Nazi party. Then what? Or Muslim religion, but the Nazi party, which is the Christian religion, etc.,
well, you
etc.
got two things going on here, because the one thing would be you're saying like, there's the thing saying she can't say something bad about Muslim. Okay, that
is that not allowed?
That is that allowed?
Is it allowed to say something bad?
Hold on.
I'm just asking. Is that allowed?
No, but wait. Hold on, man. I had it. And that was part of my point. That point, I think like you should be able to say what you want about religions. They say, because they say whatever they want about people that aren't religious. So that part is fine. But what I'm saying is, she's stereotyping an entire group of people. That's where that's wrong. She's
Right.
like she's blaming the terrorists on an entire group of people.
Right.
That's where what she's saying
Right.
is ridiculous.
Right. Okay, well, let's back up. Hold on
It
here.
might be all right for her to not like the Muslim religion.
Okay.
But she's basically saying that all Muslims are, killing people,
Right,
and that's
right.
not true, as we know. So that's where
Right.
she's then being so narrow-minded and judging people 100% by what they look and their race
Right.
and their
Well, let me ask
where
you
they
this,
live and
though.
stuff.
So you feel that because that she's not. I don't think the Muslim, and that's probably what this guy's trying to explain. Hey, but that's beside the point. Okay, what I'm saying is that great. Okay, so you have guys, a bunch of Muslims that don't like Jews. Okay, well, if you're a Muslim or if you're a Jew, well, you must not agree. You must think that Muslims' way of living is wrong, and the Jews' way of living is wrong. Otherwise, you would be on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you are saying, I don't agree with all Jews.
Right.
If I see a Jew, I know I don't agree with them.
Right.
Well, therefore, religion inherently has racism in it because there's no way to have a belief that's separate from your own that says my beliefs are right and yours are wrong. Because if it wasn't,
Right,
therefore I'd join
right,
yours.
Right.
So my point being is that by being in a religion, if you are signed up for a religion, you automatically are a racist.
Right. That's what I was saying too when I was saying that already. Yeah. Like even the fact being like when people say you can't say stuff about a religion, that's BS because all they do is go around saying stuff about everyone that's not in their religion. So. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll, because they're obviously saying we're the chosen ones or whatever, and
Right.
every religion thinks they're the chosen ones.
Thinks
or
that they're the saved,
they're
chosen,
saved,
or...
the saved, the chosen, the believers.
We're right, you're wrong.
We're right, you're wrong. So they're already judging you. So it's so hypocritical to then say, oh, but you can't say anything about our religion. But they're judging if you're not in a religion. Like if you're an atheist or a Satanist or just not anything, whatever, you don't believe in anything, or a naturalist, or any of the people that aren't Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Catholic, the biggest religions that we have right now, Mormon, all those ones. If I, there's more. I'm just saying, you guys know them all. But if you're not in those ones, then they're already very prejudiced against you. And even if you're in one of those ones, like if you're Jewish and you're going to be very prejudiced towards the Muslims and, vice versa, like he was saying. So it's so ironic that the religious people say that we can't say anything about the religion.
Right. Well, I'll give an example why religion has a flaw when it comes. And I know I was being really harsh when I said if you're in a religion, you're racist, because individually, no one is that way. It's groups of people that can be swooped into something unknowingly, and that's why they have the groups. But I'm going to give you an example that's basically what JediJoy was trying to say was, well, doesn't it in the Bible say that they should stomp out Satan? And they should stomp out all Satanists and fuck Satan and all this shit and this and that. Okay, well, there is a temple of Satan. People worship Satan, and that is a religion that is protected under the Constitution of the United States. Now, in your Bible, it literally says for you to fucking go after Satanists. Okay? In fact, all your Bibles probably. That's one thing you all agree on, is that Satan is the worst thing ever, and if you see a Satan, then you want to stomp him out. Okay, well, what if you just said that about, what if Christians started saying that about Jews, or Jews said it about Christians? Oh, wait, we already did that. Nazi Party, 1920s, 1940s. They were a Christian organization that did the exact same thing. Okay, but you see how all you have to do is what they call demonize. All right.
No, and the thing I was just thinking about,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go actually, because.
Well, I was going to ask you was because you seem to kind of know a lot about this, and that's what I was leading into next, which was what is your experience with religion?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay, talking about where you're right and they're wrong. Where have you found yourself in a situation maybe where you even broke laws of a foreign nation to step onto their soil?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of specifically where...
I know. I was going to get to that in 2 seconds. You know what, all I was going to say is I grew up Christian my whole life. My parents were missionaries, and so that's what he was going to say. So when I was a very young child, when I was 3, we lived in Mexico for 3 months. My parents were missionaries there. But then when I was 15, I signed up to go be a missionary in China, and we smuggled Bibles into China, and that's what Jedi Rich was talking about. And I, as a young girl, did not realize what I was doing. I thought I was doing the right thing.
So, you're a female, correct? Yes?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you live in Las Vegas, correct?
I do.
And would you say you live in a high-income, middle-income, or low-income neighborhood?
I'm going to scratch my head a little bit on this one, but I'm going to have to lean towards the lowest of incomes.
Lowest of income. Okay, so we're basically with the people.
Yes.
Okay. But it's not quite like people here actually are they working or are they non-working people here?
It's probably like 75% non-working.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, I wasn't aware. I don't go outside much because I don't work except for just do this.
No, actually, I don't know. I think it's probably like 50-50. There's some people that work for the stadium.
Now, when you grew up, when you were a little girl, now would you say you grew up in a high income, low income, middle income?
Low income.
Low income. Was it similar to this type of environment?
Very, yeah. Very
okay.
similar.
Would you say the demographic here of like, would you say that this is interracially mixed? It's all black, all white, or
this
Mexican?
is very interracial. If anything, probably. Well, it comes and goes. Where sometimes it might be more black people, and sometimes it might be more white people. But it's pretty mixed. We have a lot of Hawaiian people here.
Yeah.
We have a lot of
I hadn't thought of that, but JediJoy is right. We do have a lot of Hawaiian people that live in Las Vegas.
We have a lot of people from all parts of Latin America and stuff too that come to work on like the stadium and stuff. So it's very intermixed here. But where I'm from, it was not intermixed because it was like a small town in Northern California, and it was very, very white. But we were in the low income the white neighborhoods, so like the white trash neighborhoods.
I see.
White trash. Yeah, we were basically like one step up from the trailer park, maybe, because we were in the low income apartments where it was like based on how much you made a month. They would adjust your rent.
Okay.
And you had to get on a waiting list to get there and stuff.
Let me ask you a question. So would you prefer, knowing what you've known, because when I met you had a boyfriend who lived in a high-rise, and you've lived in houses in very nice neighborhood, and you've dated a lot of men that have a lot of money, and you've also lived here, and also where you grew up. You've kind of seen both spectrums. Now, honestly, pretend that I'm not your husband. Pretend that this isn't your place. You can go anywhere you want. What do you prefer the most?
No, I totally prefer this kind of environment because it actually just feels at home to me because it's the way I grew up. So I really like it. I don't like big places. I've stayed in big places and I don't like it. And I'm very clean, but I find if it's too clean, it can be too sterile. And I think that I want that. And then I get there and I can't stand it. Like if it's like really perfect and new and clean. Because it sure looks nice, but it just doesn't feel very at home, and you feel like you're gonna mess something up. And so this feels very homey. This is very similar to the way my mom kind of set up the place. So, and I also don't like big places. I think that feels very empty and lonely. I like me and Jedi Rich. Even if we've had bigger places, we stay in like one room pretty much always. So, and that's what we like. So this is perfect because we just have a 1-bedroom apartment because that's all we actually need. And I love it. And it feels very much like you could be like in New York, or you could be anywhere.
It's efficient.
Yeah, it's like super efficient. And we lived in a cave, so like anything that like has a toilet and like running water and like that shelter now is so amazing because we just took it down to the basics.
And really, if you know how to make a home, you can make a home anywhere. And actually, we were just figuring out how to get some either running water or maybe
we were going to get a shower up there with Robert.
Now, one of the things that happens in a low-income neighborhood is that, well, there are desperate women looking for places to stay. So it's true, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when she walks out the door, they just assume that she's, one of those desperate women looking for a place to stay. So here she is on the bus. I'll show you this video. Apparently, this guy would just stare at her nonstop.
Well, I didn't. When he stares, you got it right there, but that's what he did without turning away. So he did without turning away. Like, I wasn't filming earlier. I wish I would have. But
what's wrong with his mouth?
He would just like that. He did the whole time though. And you see how he looked
weird.
At me like that. He would look at me and I was like, oh my god, this. So I just started looking at him because he wouldn't look away from me. He just stared at me. So I just started kind of glaring at him because I don't like when people stare at me. So if they stare at me, I just stare at them.
Well, a couple things. Okay. Well, let's figure out. Okay.
So like right. Hold on, that one when he looks is the stare he had the whole time. So wait, right? Hold on. Right there is what he did the whole time until I started I took my camera out and I also stared at him. And I started glaring at him kind of.
Now as a woman, we have the Me Too thing. He can't touch you. He can't he can't say anything offensive. But how does that feel when he stares at you like that?
Well, here's the thing. I'm a very, I don't ever mind, if guys check me out or, I put myself out there a lot. I mean, I put myself out there in my underwear and stuff. Even on here, I'm in my underwear. And so I don't mind the attention. I'm not one of those girls that's going to be like, oh, my God, make a big deal. But some guys kind of push it a little bit too far, and they just make you very uncomfortable. Some people just make you uncomfortable. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's just their energy makes you very uncomfortable. So but it usually means they're staring at you or something because you probably wouldn't know. They could just be creepy, but they'd have to be doing something though. You know what I mean? So it's creepy on top of staring at you. But so they'll stare at you or something, and it's just this energy, and it's so strong that you don't even have to be looking at them. You don't even have to know that they are, but you know that they are. And that guy, I actually knew he was because I was looking at my phone and he didn't know. I could see him staring at me the entire time. It was probably a 20-minute bus ride, and he stared at me for a second. I was kind of into my phone, and then I kind of and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy is literally just staring at me, just full on staring, did not look away, deadlock staring at me. And then I was like, okay, this is pissing me off now because I got so right. Then I turned because I kind of had my back to him, and then I just deadlocked on him and just stared at him, glared at him, and then he still didn't turn away, and I was like, whatever. And then I kind of and he kind of finally turned away, and then I went back to my phone. And then he did it again. And so I did it again. And this happened several times. And then I was like, okay, forget it. I'm going to pull out my phone to video him. And then once I did that, I think he kind of got that maybe I was videoing him. Because it's hard to video people without them knowing because it's an awkward position for your phone. Wow. You try to do it all subtle, but it's clear you're videoing someone because it's not the position you'd hold your phone to look at it because you're like this. So you're like, no, I'm not videoing. No, this is how I read my phone.
Right. Well, that is funny.
So I didn't really get the video. But so anyway, what I think Jedi Rich is trying to get at what for me is sometimes it's hard.
Well, actually, I want to ask you a question.
As a woman, how it
no,
feels,
actually, I just want to ask you a question. Okay. So when a man, sits there and he's trying, I'm assuming what I think he's doing. I don't know because I think men, we've all been that. We see a pretty lady, pretty girl, pretty lady. and we're like, oh, look at the pretty lady, that sort of energy, and so we all have interpretation of what we're going through our head. Now, I'd like to know the energy that you feel when this man was doing that to you repeatedly for 20 minutes, staring at you. What do you think he wanted?
Well, of course they're checking you out, and of course it's sexual and all that. But what's insulting is just kind of no one else is doing that but that person. And other people, there's other guys on the bus. I'm sure other guys find me attractive, you know what I mean? But they don't do that. And so it's almost irritating that these people take up more energy and space than what is really like, what would kind of be like, I don't know what would be the right thing, because you don't want to say like fair, but what's kind of like, you know how some people take up more space than they need to be, you know, like that one person, you know, you have a whole bus and everyone is kind of doing their own thing, and then you have one person that's either making a big ruckus, or this guy is staring at people all creeping everyone out, or, you know, whatever it may be, or the woman that pushed an old man off the bus, that probably created a real ruckus.
Or a lot of times maybe someone will break out their smartphone and start playing obnoxious like novella.
Yeah, or even the music.
The music is okay.
Loud,
the music is okay. But when they play sitcoms in other languages on the bus at high volumes,
true.
That
Sometimes I wonder if
crazy.
I'm like, do they think they have headphones on or something?
I don't know.
It's the weirdest. Yeah, so all those things. So
okay, good.
What I'm saying, so like some guys, what makes me mad is we've kind of learned nowadays, you don't kind of just come up on girls like in settings. You're not supposed to do that, like unless it's invited, and a girl standing by herself is not invited.
Well, let me ask you a question now.
You're supposed to come up on her.
That's true. Okay, so they're not allowed to talk to you, but how would it make you feel that this man, he clearly is a lot older than you, would it be better? Okay, I'm not going to say either or, because I'm not going to do you want a shit burrito or a shit sandwich? You know what I mean? I'm going to say this, though. How would you feel, though, if here he is kind of looking at you and he says, hi, you know, my name's so-and-so. I actually, I'm from Chicago. Chicago Bears is my favorite football team, and I'm visiting Las Vegas here. And what's your name? How would that make you feel? And he wanted to just do small talk like people do on an airplane. How would that be better than him? Okay, I'm not going to do the better than, but how would that make you feel?
It would be better than staring.
It would be better than staring. Okay,
but I feel like here's the problem.
Because what if he's funny?
Okay, here's the problem.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Okay, I'm a pretty girl. You know,
she's a pretty lady.
I'm a pretty girl, so you know I get quite a bit of attention. You know, because like girls. If you're a pretty girl, you get attention. That's just, you know, most girls get attention. Very few girls don't get attention. And then if you're pretty, you're going to get attention. So girls know that. Girls are like scared to say they're pretty. If you're getting attention, you're a pretty girl. So anyways. But I think I need to hold the mic like this. I was holding it all retarded.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're learning how to use a microphone. I wasn't going to say anything because I tell you a million things all day long. And I have a million. But just so you know, here's the thing.
I thought it was just so wrong. Every person that's done a show is like, what is she doing? Probably that for that whole entire minute.
Yes, married couples. Just so you know, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but you know, like when we're trying to we're doing podcasts, and I kind of know how to do the broadcasting stuff. She doesn't understand music as much. It'd be like if, let's say, if you were going to take you're a great skier and you're going to take your husband skiing for the first time. He has no clue, right? Like basically. Everything he does is wrong.
Is it more like that's than fitting to the cow?
And so what happens is that he, you know, so you're trying to help him get skiing. He's doing really great. So you're like, oh, great job. And then you're like, well, do this, do that. But then there are a lot of things you say, hey, you know, gosh, you can't. Everything they're doing is technically wrong, but they're doing so much better than they've ever done before. That you don't want to critique them on that, because otherwise you'll be criticizing them all the time.
So you have me like in the retard class, and you're giving me like a handicap.
They can't stare at you to get your attention, okay? And they can't come talk to you to get your attention. In a society where we're so sexually repressed and sexually depressed, where every woman is doing exactly what you're doing, which is no one is talking to anyone. And they're just barreling going to work and then right back home. What is a man like that to do?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I imagine if I was single, I would potentially maybe be a little bit more friendly. So I would be inviting conversation more.
Okay.
But I go with like my headphones on and my head down, and I try to take the bus and not talk to anyone. So I'm clearly not inviting conversation. So when they do, they're kind of crossing over a boundary. And now if I was a girl that was very talkative or something, and I have been in the past, But see, so why it's rude is they are being presumptuous because, for one thing, I don't wear a wedding ring. So they kind of just assume I'm single. And so they're thinking, I better take the opportunity while I see this girl before she gets away. Well, for one thing, I'm already married. So let's not like try to put fate in your own hands and think that you gotta like jump right now to before you miss your one and only chance of talking to the girl of your dreams or whatever it may be. That's what they think. But then they're very presumptuous because most girls probably have a boyfriend, a husband, a fiance or something. Because if they're not talking, they probably are involved with someone that they don't feel like talking to another man at that point. And if they wanted to, the girls are very open about that if they want to. So when a man does that, it's very rude because they're being like, I want you, no matter, I don't care what you have going on. I see you don't have a ring on your finger, so I definitely think that I have a chance. Not that a ring always stops, but I'm sure it stops some of the guys. So that's why it's rude. Because I'm just literally trying to just enjoy myself, and it's like my meditation when I have my music. So
that is fantastic, what you said. What I want to point out something. What she said was, what that man did was rude. There's no such thing as rude, okay? What that man did was, she said that man was harassing her because she had set boundaries which that she did not want to be bothered. Yet he, for 20 minutes, continually stared at her, thinking that she was going to change her mind. That's called harassment. Anyways, with that, I'm gonna take a little breather on my back. Hey, great show, JediJoy, and end it with what we do. So hey, remember guys, this is a JediJoyRichShow.com production, and
hey, please subscribe too to our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. Please subscribe and
come back for another show.
And this is JediJoy and JediRich, and remember, opinions are like...
I did not remember. I told you guys I can't remember.
Okay, right. And remember...
opinions are like armpits and assholes. Everyone's got them, but they stink.
All right. See you next time, guys.
I didn't remember. You have to help me.
Oh, no. No, that's part of the...